was each day, could we get a little better? Could we do today a little better than what we did yesterday? Same as I'm sure it is innovating in your day-to-day business lives. Fresh, how did you do that?
Well, one of the great things is that, you know, communications amongst the team. We've got an incredibly good team. You know, Simeon, for example, is a qualified naval architect. He grinds on the handles, but he also knows a lot about yacht design.
So communication,
constantly focusing on what's important to make the boat go faster today, in a week, and maybe in a month if you've got a month to go.
Focus.
And thirdly, just really keeping the job in hand. I remember when we ate one down in our morning meetings, our preparation, everything that we did was exactly the same as when we were starting the regatta in the week before. We discussed our opposition, we discussed where we were strong, where we were weak, what we could do to make the boat go faster in this next race, which could have been our last. And, you know, just kept the tempo the same, kept fighting away, and, you know, it really never changed from when we were winning or when we were losing.
So constant innovation, just an attitude, a culture within the team of constant innovation. Rome, a couple of times I was in for team meetings by CEO Russell Coots, by the general manager Grant Simmer, indeed by Larry Ellison himself. How did you stay motivated? How did the team stay motivated when we were down 8-1? They were on match point for 6 days, 8 races.
Yeah, we just, the whole team just came together, from the design team and the shore team and the sailing team. And like you said, we got, you know, we focused on what we had to do, and we kind of just, we stuck at it. And we stuck together, and we just made it happen. And it was a pretty cool to see the outcome.
Simeon?
Yeah, you know, it's an amazing feeling, because it's been such a long road as well. You know, 2.5 years of battling with each other, and I think everyone realized we were at 8-1. It's like, actually, you know, that battle has been quite fun as well. And, you know, let's keep alive another day. And we took it day by day. And I think every day, the fun of doing it and realizing how special this is, and to win 8 races in a row, to just try to make it possible, gave so much energy. And yeah, we did it. We won it.
So attitude and never give up mentality, Shannon.
I think I'll tune in with Simeon and just say that first week, you know, when we ended up so far down, we had a lot of focus. You know, we were sailing on the off days of racing. We just kept working at it, but we got to that point, and as a sailing team, you know, we come off the water that day. We'd already done the crew change and so on, and you know, we hadn't won the next race, and it was a moment of reflection, saying, look back at where we've got to. Tomorrow could be our last day, and let's just go out, sail fast, and have fun. And that for me was something that I just did personally every day, just make sure I was enjoying the racing and having fun, not even thinking about the end result. You know, we'd won anyway, just with where we got to with the event, in my opinion, you know, in the boats. So it started working. So from 8 to go, it became 7, 6, 5, 4, and then you're thinking, whoa. It was only until, for me, you know, the day before yesterday, you know, when we were at the bottom gate and behind, everyone had said if Team New Zealand started ahead, if they rounded the first reach mark ahead, if they rounded the bottom gate, they were gone. So, you know, when we did that and we just ground them down and took that win, that was for me the first moment when I actually first thought, hey, we can go for this.
Indeed. A very impressive Fresh. Ian Burns' nickname, for reasons he still won't tell me, I've known him for 20 years, maybe longer, his nickname is Fresh. And since Elizabeth Murphy tells me this is a family show, I can't go into why he was nicknamed. Fresh, the critical success factor, one of them. We've heard about innovation and teamwork and leadership, and the leadership from Larry on down. But these boats started out in July, at the beginning of the summer of racing, going 30 knots, call it 34, 35 miles an hour, downwind. Downwind. At the end of the summer, indeed in the last couple of weeks, the innovation was so significant among our team that they were going from 25 to up to 30 and more knots upwind, foiling, up on the hydrofoils. Fresh, how did that happen?
Well, I'd love to say it was part of a master plan that had been planned for years, but the reality is that we were learning about these boats every time we went out there, and the combination of what the sailing team could feel on the boats, what the design team could sort of analyse from the performance of each day, sort of fed into each improvement that we made. And you know, it wasn't part of a master plan, but we sort of had conviction that our boat overall was probably better than the New Zealand boat. It was more subtle, probably a better design, but to sail it and sort of change the mode and to change the way we sailed it was a huge ask, and it was because the sailing team was so strong, support from the shore team was so good that there was confidence that we could do it, that no one could come out with something new and beat us at it, that we could always, you know, overcome whatever was thrown at us.
But if Safford Katz was sitting here in my seat, thank goodness she's not, as much as I'd like to sit in hers. If she were here, she'd say, well, wasn't one of the critical success factors, wasn't that Oracle software, Oracle database, Oracle applications? Because we have that, and I don't know, maybe Team New Zealand had SAP. Or IBM.
It was all part of the mosaic. Every night we'd collect a huge amount of data. It didn't matter whether we won or lost, whether it be testing or racing. We collect the data and analyse it. We'd sit down and discuss the findings.
How much data?
We usually collect between 1 and 2 gigabytes a day per boat of raw data, and then we'd actually collect about 100 gigabytes of video every day. Our coach, Philippe Presky, used to sit there. He's a bank of giant television screens, and he shows video for the crew, linked to all of the data as we're reviewing it.
From a GoPro camera on the back of the boat, so it was like you were sitting on the back of the boat. You could see what the boat was doing, what the crew movement was, and what the data was that was being collected from how many points on the boat?
We've got about 300 sensors on the boat measuring real-time data, but in the end of the day, the real breakthroughs didn't come necessarily from the sailing team, from the design team. It came from the sailing team. Some of the guys who were grinding were saying, let's try doing it this way, let's try tacking this way, let's try jiving this way, and together with the coach, the software, the tools, and the things that we put in place over the years, we were able to make those changes very quickly, and that was really how the team came together to make those performance changes. It didn't come from one person, one area of the team. It was right across the team with the tools and the methods we built over the years.
Gentlemen, Rome Kirby, Simeon Teapot, Shannon Falcone, Ian Burns, ladies and gentlemen, winners of the 34th edition of the American Cup, the oldest trophy in sport. Would you like to see it back here in San Francisco in 3 or 4 years' time? Thank you. Thank you very much for having us.